However,
Yes.
biggie this week, I think for many people, Meet the Robinsons. It opened last week in the 3D print, so I went to see it on Friday night.
Did you have to wear the glasses?
Yeah, that's how you do 3D.
I just thought there might be a new technical invention.
What? Actually have people acting it out live?
Yeah, a real cartoon.
Now, let me explain something to you, Simon.
Cartoon.
If it's a flat screen, right, you have to have special glasses to make it 3D. Otherwise, it's just a flat screen.
Oh, I see.
Now, in its favour, let me say that the 3D is really good. If you get a chance to go and see it in 3D, I mean, if you're interested in 3D like I am, there was the old 3D like Buona Devil and, The Lion in Your Lap movies.
Flesh of Frankenstein.
Flesh of Frankenstein's a great film. House of Wax is a great film. But these all worked with techniques which never quite got it right. Then we had that sort of resurgence when you had Jaws 3D, Friday the 13th 3D, all those, never. Now, with Digimation, with digital animation, which is designed specifically from the computer outwards for 3D, they get a really good 3D effect. So thumbs up for the 3D. Can't fault that. On a technical level, it's great. Okay? Story of Meet the Robinsons. Young boy, orphan boy, inventor, goes to a science fair, meets up with a kid from the future. John Lasseter gets an executive producer credit, and yet none of this has the narrative. I keep saying this, John Lasseter movies, you say the visuals are great second, because you know what? The narrative is the thing that's really great. In the case of this, I have to start by saying the 3D is great, because you know what? 7 writers, no plot. Or, more accurately, 7 writers, 14 plots. Watching it is very odd, because it's like watching all the body parts of a bunch of other things that you've seen all strapped together to make a new movie. So you get the sub-Oedipal time travel stuff from Back to the Future. You get the bowler hat guy who looks like he's come out of Something Wicked This Way Comes or Dickens. You get the robot designs from that movie Robots, which I quite liked, although it was no masterpiece. You get the pastel shades from Cars. You get the futurism of The Incredibles. You get the dinosaur that appears to have come out of the toys. And yet, it doesn't add up to anything. It's a bunch of stuff. It's a great bunch of stuff to look at, because I really like kind of future retro pastel shaded 50s inflected science fiction for kids. But what I also really like is a strong narrative, a strong story. If you said to a kid when they come out of this film, tell me the story of the movie, they wouldn't be able to. It's not quite as episodic and disjointed as Ice Age 2.
I bet they will. Well, we'll do that over the next few weeks, as kids do indeed go and see that. If they can tell us the story, then that will be...
Okay, tell us the story. Explain to me exactly how we get to the bowler hat guy. Explain to me exactly how everything marries up. And even if you, by the end of it, you understand it, there's a good 30 minutes when you're going, well, A, we haven't met the Robinsons yet, and B, where's this going? So I don't doubt that if you take kids to see it, and they're kids who are delighted by bright colour, I'm not saying this patronisingly, because I'm delighted by bright colours, right? There are things on screen that look lovely. They look candy flossy and, crispy coated, and that's really... And it has a 50s inflection to it. And the 3D I can't fault. But I just didn't have a story or a script to carry it together, and it was just too much a sense of, we can do this, so let's do it, rather than, as Lasseter always said, tell the story, tell the story, tell the story. And if you need computer graphics to tell the story, then fine, but the story is primary.